Hello everyone, today we're going to be walking through Benefits Concierge Consulting Group's online quoting tool, which includes access to the document locker, electronic scope of appointment document signing, and the new client manager. All of these are listed under the tools in the dashboard when you get signed into the quoting tool. We'll start with the Medicare Supplement quoting tool, and in order to start a new quote, you'll simply click Run Quote underneath Medicare Supplement. This will bring us to the quote search page. You can either enter in new credentials for a new quote, so we'll enter our zip code, age, gender, tobacco status, how we'd like to sort the results by, so price, meaning least expensive to most expensive, AM Best rating, SP rating, or company name alphabetically. You can select the plan type, the effective date, and whether or not the household discount is applied. You can then enter in a new client's name, so we'll say BCCG for Benefits Concierge Consulting Group Test. This will be our test client. So we can create this new test client, or you can select any other clients that you've previously created and it will pull in their demographic information. So we'll go back to our BCCG test client. We'll go ahead and we'll hit Get Quote. And this will show us our full results page for our Medicare Supplement options. We'll see that they are sorted by price. So we have least expensive to most expensive. So we have our monthly premium at the top, $97.65 for Resource Life Insurance Company. We have the other details of this plan listed here below. We also have our age increases and increase history, as well as the market data on this page. So as we scroll down here to an example of State Mutual, we ran a quote for a 65-year-old. So for age increases, it's going to show the next 4 years, so 66, 67, 68, and 69-year-old, and what they currently pay. This gives us an idea of how this plan may increase the premium as the person ages. Again, this is based on the current rate data. The increase history is based on the last increases or decreases that this plan has taken, and then it shows an average of those years and the amount. The market data shows us on a national and state level the number of lives that are covered, the premium amount, loss ratio, and market percentage. You can also toggle between the years to see how this has changed over time. On the left-hand side of our screen, we can change the view by expanding or contracting our quote results, applying the discount if there is one, seeing what the annual rate is, removing and adding in the market analytics, and then viewing select plans in our results. We can always export this entire quote list results by doing a print, a PDF, or an Excel export. And that would print the entire list results. Or if we'd like to compare just a few of these options side by side, we can simply click this blue bar, and up at the top under Compare Quotes, each of the plans we select will be populated. You can select up to 5 at one time of any of the plans you would like. And once you've selected the plans you'd like to compare, you can click Compare Quote, and it will show you a side-by-side comparison of the plans that you've selected. Then you can do a PDF or print export of just this page so they can have just the side-by-side comparison. I'll go ahead and show you what this PDF example would look like and how it's so nice and professional so you can hand this out to your clients if they'd like to compare their options and later get back to you, or if they'd like to review any of their options that you discussed. So this is loading here. We're getting a PDF that's downloaded and generated for us. We'll go ahead and open this up. And you can see at the top it has the agent first and last name, phone number, email address, and then it says it's a quote comparison for our BCCG test, or our client's name here. And then it has our 3 plans side by side. Again, you can compare up to 5 at one time, and then the picture that you've uploaded to your account will also be displayed. We'll click the back arrow to get back to our complete results of the Medicare Supplement quote that we ran here. We'll show you some other great features of this quoting tool. So as we scroll down on the left-hand side, we also have this application health questions. So maybe the person we're running the quote for has had a heart attack. If we type in heart attack and select it, then we can see that this health condition will populate under each of the quote options, and it will have the look back period. So for example, under Resource Life, it says heart attack 3 years. That means on the carrier's application, it will ask if they've had a heart attack in the past 3 years. So it gives us an idea of what type of health questions are asked on the carrier's application. Again, you can see it varies from carrier to carrier. Some say 5, 2, 2. So it does vary upon the carriers. Another great piece here is if we scroll down under options and click about quote, we get definitions of the age increases, increase history, covered lives, market percentage, premium amount, and loss ratio, and the source of that data. So if we ever forget what these 3 things mean here, then we can always reference that as a guide. We'll go ahead and take us back to the dashboard, and we'll move to our next quoting tool, which is our Medicare Advantage or PDP quoting tool. So to start a new quote, we'll click Run Quote. Again, we can select our client that we already ran a test for, this BCCG test. It will pull in that zip code, or we can create a new client. We can also select our different filter, so HMO, PPO, enhanced drug benefit, or no drug benefit. We can select how we'd like to sort these results by, either alphabetically or by price. And we can also select the low income subsidy level if that applies to our situation. We'll go ahead and hit Get Quote and see what we have here for Medicare Advantage. Again, we also have the Medicare Part D and Special Needs plans. But as you run one of these quotes, you see that the functionality is very similar from plan type to plan type. So we'll walk through Medicare Advantage today. Again, we can do this compare quotes by selecting up to 3 at one time, up to 5 at one time. I did 3 for the example earlier, but you can do up to 5 at once. We also have quote options to view plan details. So this will show us the plan details here. We can click show additional details to see the full plan details, and a lot more will show there as you scroll through. We could always do a print or PDF of just that single plan if we would like as well. So you can always just do the one plan if you'd like. Otherwise, over on the left-hand side, you can do the print, PDF, or Excel of the entire list. Otherwise, all the information is there that you need. The max out of pocket, the star rating, drug deductible, county, drug benefit, plan ID, all of it's there. So this compare quotes that I showed you is great for comparing plans of the same product. So Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Advantage, MedSup versus MedSup. But if you ever wanted to compare maybe a Medicare Advantage plan to a different product type or any other product type, so maybe a MedSup to dental or Medicare Advantage versus MedSup, you can select this globe here and it will turn this plan purple under Universal Compare. And then when we go back to the dashboard, you can actually move to the next quoting tool. So let's move to Final Expense Life. We'll enter in our zip code, our age, gender, tobacco status. We can choose our face value or monthly rate. We can choose our product type, our underwriting type, and then how we'd like to sort the results by, so price, AM Best, or SP rating. We'll hit Get Quote, and then you'll notice the Medicare Advantage plan that I selected is still being saved for us. So now, if I select one of my final expense plans that pops up, for example, Senior Life Insurance Company, now both of them are populated under Universal Compare, and then we can see 2 different product types side by side. So we have our Medicare Advantage Humana plan, our Final Expense Senior Life Insurance Company plan side by side. You could always do a print or PDF of this page, or we can go back to our full results list. So that's the Universal Compare, different products side by side. Again, you can compare up to 5 at once. So you can do many more if you'd like to. I just did 2 for just today's example. Again, we do have the options to expand or contract our quote results, apply the fees, see how it changes the monthly premium. We also have the application health questions. So if we add in something like the heart attack again, and we click heart attack, we can see what the look back period is for each of these applications. So Senior Life, 10 years, Trinity Life, 2 years. So that's an example of a very big difference here on the application health questions. Again, we can export by printing or PDF. We'll take us back to the dashboard, and we'll go into our document locker. So we have the document locker and electronic scope of appointment document signing. They are related tools. So we'll start with document locker. I'll click view files. This is where you can store an unlimited amount of documents. So maybe you have a big stack of scope of appointments on your desk, or you have a big stack of quotes that you've run for different clients on your desk. You can actually scan those in if you have a scanner, and then you can actually import in all of your documents that you need into one place here. So you can see this is my document locker. I've created different folders. So maybe I've run quotes for clients and I've exported them as I showed you for the quoting tool. I can actually upload different documents and I can sort them in my folders, or I can create new folders. If I ever need to export the information here, I can click export to get all this information out of here if I'd like to. But the biggest piece here is the new electronic scope of appointment form that you can create using this document locker tool. So as I click on this, you can see all my incompletes that I've created. And if we scroll to the bottom, we can see that we can start a new document, we can download the SOA form or preview it, but we'll go ahead and start this document and walk you through an example. So we click Start Document, we'll give it a title, so we'll say BCCG Test again, we'll pretend this is our test agent. We'll save and continue. And then we'll go ahead and agree to these terms and conditions. Make sure we read those all very carefully. Click Continue. It will ask if we're in the same physical location as our client. So if we select no, they do need to do the email signature link. Our client will. And what it will send to them is an email link with a verification code. All they need to do is click that link and enter the verification code, and they're good to go. So they get the email, click the link, enter the verification code, and that's how they sign it. They'll go ahead and fill out their portion. If we are in the same physical location, which I'm going to do today so I don't have to retrieve my email for you, I will say we are in the same physical location. Then the applicant can just provide identifying information, which is their mother's maiden name and the last four of their social security number. So then we'll go ahead and we'll enter the plans that we'd like to discuss. We'll say the applicant name is BCG Test. Again, we'll pretend this is our person for today. Mother's maiden name, the last four of the SOC. So this is the electronic signature piece where you're entering in mother's maiden name and the SOC. This would be the applicant actually entering this, or the person you're speaking with. We're signing in Omaha, Nebraska, 68135. We'll go ahead and apply the e-signature. So now the agent's going to fill out this confirmation form. So I'll say this is me. I'll enter in my phone number, the beneficiary name, their phone number, the address, the city, the state, the zip code, and we can indicate whether they are a walk-in. And then the plans that were represented, we'll just say we talked about a dental plan. We'll confirm the date, and then we'll hit continue. Now, as I fill all this out, it's actually filling out a PDF for us. So it's actually filling in this document for us. So now I, as the agent, am going to sign this, click Apply e-signature, press the sign button, and we are good to go. So we can see this electronic document's been completed. We can save it to our library where we were at the document locker, and it will be saved. And then we also see this preview of the document that's been created for us. So this is a great way to keep all of your ESOAs or SOAs in one place. It's the same platform as your quoting tool. You can stay nice and organized when you're getting these documents. I'm going to take us back to the dashboard, and we'll go into our Client Manager tool, which we showed you a piece of how we can add in those names when running a quote. So when we ran that Medicare Supplement quote and I selected the names and created the clients, that's one piece of it. The other piece here, we can click View Clients. And this is my client dashboard where I can actually see all my clients and I can actually manage them. So maybe I know I was working with Jane. I think I bumped something here. Sorry about that. Bumped something while I was typing. Okay, let's say I'm trying to find Jane. What am I doing? If I'm trying to find Jane, I would search here for her in this search bar. Don't know what I'm doing here. But I would type her name and then it would come up here. So if I'm trying to search for a client, we can just do that instead of scrolling all the way through. We can choose to add a filter. So maybe we want to find all of our agents in Nebraska and we want to run a new quote for them. We can certainly do that. We can change our view options. So maybe we want to see the zip and the tobacco status here on this page as well. We can certainly change that, or maybe we just want zip code and tobacco status. We can change how this looks here. Now I can select some clients here. So maybe I want to select Taylor and Jane. I can then go ahead and export these people. I can, do anything that I need to do with these clients. I can delete them out. I can change the view here. So how many people I'm viewing at once. Maybe I want to update some information. So here I can see Maria, she's not completed here. I can select her gender, her tobacco status, her birthday. So that way when I'm running a quote, as we went over in the Medicare Supplement quoting tool, if I were now to pull in Maria here, all of this information that's saved in her client manager profile is what's used to run the quote. So it's really nice to be able to run a quote for somebody. You don't have to keep asking them what their zip code is. Maybe in a month you want to run a quote for them again. All of their information is saved here nicely for you in the client manager dashboard. We can also import more clients. So if you have a list, an Excel spreadsheet of all your clients, you can import them to be stored here. And there are some examples here of how to import those clients. Here's an example of how you'd want to structure your columns. So if you do have a big list of clients, this is how you'd want to set up their actual information in the spreadsheet so that it can easily be pulled in to the quoting tool. So wait for this to load here one moment. And here we go. So these are the horizontal column headers that you'd want, as well as how you'd want to format this to easily pull in that data. Again, if you click at the top of the training guides, you can review that later on how to easily import those. If we want to create a new client, we can simply click new and we can add in their information here if we just want to create one new one at a time. But this is a great way to keep all your clients organized and in one place and be able to do everything you need to do in one platform. So we went over the quoting tools. We went over Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, Final Expense. We touched on the document locker and how we can store unlimited documents and upload our documents to save them there. How to create an electronic scope of appointment and get that signed. And also the client manager, how to store all of your clients in one place. Thank you so much for watching today's demo video. I hope you have a great rest of your day.